Happy 4th, everybody. I know it's in a quarantine, and it's definitely not what we would necessarily want. But hey, as long as we celebrate it, then to me, it's a holiday. You know, celebration is what keeps things alive. It's kind of like I know it's a weird thing to mention as a young adult to try to make people feel better about a holiday that would have passed by the time I put this video up. But it's kind of like The Grinch Stole Christmas, where he stole the entire Christmas and they were like, "Oh, well this sucks." And then they just started singing. It's about that Christmas spirit. And I'm sure there will be some kind of fireworks or just, go on YouTube and look up some fireworks, which is pretty much what I'm going to do. Um But generally in the past, I've had a very weird history with this holiday, starting with the time around maybe freshman year. It was around when the first Splatoon was out, and they did a Splatfest at night for 4th of July. So I stayed up like 48 hours, streamed the Splatfest, and then had to go march in a parade with a tuba. Yeah, so then it wouldn't have been freshman. It would have been junior, maybe junior, I think. Um, but yeah, that was quite a day. We went to do what we traditionally do, which is going to my grandparents and watching fireworks on the balcony. So generally, ever since then, 4th of July's have been weird. Last year, I was working at my old job. And yeah, that's an early job. So I ended up having to wake up at like 5 in the morning and I was falling asleep like just as the fireworks were going off. And this year I figured, you know what? The weirdest thing's going to be quarantine. We'll just do like a video call or something. We'll figure it out. No, that's not the weirdest thing. So recently I've been taking these gummies to help me sleep. And for the most part, they had been working. I had a few side effects, like being drowsy, um, you know, just super unenergetic, and yeah, just very various unfun kinds of things. And one of those things, because I looked this up the other day, is vivid nightmares. Now, the thing is, I've had some pretty vivid nightmares before. My nightmares can range from oh, I forgot my pants at school, to being chased by a swarm of bees in the hall of my school. And it was like my elementary school because I was younger. Or to thinking that people in my life have died. Yeah, those are always fun. But here's the thing. When those happens, you kind of have this weird part in your dream where you're upset about it, but in the back of your head they're still okay. You're worried because you're like, why am I having this dream? But even though you wake up a little like stressed, you're like, oh my God, I hope everything's okay. It gets out of your head. Now, the one I remember before tonight was a few days ago, and it essentially was where we got a dog. This is a different dog than Fred, and I got a cat. And slowly throughout the dream, I could not remember who they were or what their names were, as if I was having like some weird dream dementia until I woke up. And all I really remember from their names is thinking maybe the cat's name was Samsung. So it didn't look like a fridge, but I named it Samsung, or like a phone. So I have no idea on that. This morning's dream was that I was at my grandparents' house with my family, and apparently in the dream, my grandma had passed away. Now, I'm not going to go too vivid into this because it still feels weird to talk about and it's still, making me nervous. And also my grandparents have my channel, so I don't want to, make them freak out. But essentially, it was weird because in the last dream about death, it was only that it was mentioned. This one was that it was like in the actual dream. It was as if I was actually living that moment. Like, not getting the news, but actually was there after it happened. There was stuff like we were moving her chair, which she always sits in. It's the most comfortable thing for her. And we were trying to figure out where to put it. And there was one point of the dream where I was seeing her. And then she kind of just disappeared, telling me that she loved me. And throughout the dream, I was going through an actual legitimate grieving process. And it was mortifying. And it was just a very, very scary experience because it felt so real. Vivid dreams feel like a part of your memory. And when those are amped up and they are actual vivid dreams, they just feel worse. It's been like an hour or two after, and I'm having a very hard time talking about this because it feels weird and it just feels wrong. But then it got weirder. After we left their apartment, as I was like sobbing, there was this woman going from door to door, and she called my name. Just random person, never met her in my life. And she ended up freaking out, and I'm like trying to brush her aside because I'm like legitimately sobbing. And this woman ends up telling me about basically somebody coming around and harming people in the apartment, and that freaked me out even more because I was like, well, now my grandpa's alone. And thankfully at that point I woke up. So yeah, needless to say, I'm going to probably stop taking that medicine because yeah, that was not a fun experience whatsoever. All right, well, hopefully the rest of my 4th of July will be a little more celebratory. And sorry to be all down when my original hope was that it would just be like a little, a little celebration, being happy about the 4th of July, and we'd all be able to be like, woohoo, it's the 4th, have a good time. But yeah, pretty much where we're at right now is I'm going to be eating, and I'm going to be getting ready. If you're wondering why I am wearing this shirt for a 3rd time in a row, it's not because I don't wash my clothes. I have a lot of shirts. No, it's actually because after I shower, I usually have a shirt that I just put on, and then after that, I just get ready. Then I put my uniform on. That's just easier.
That almost looks like the terminal tower with the red, white, and blue on that building.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably Empire State.
Yeah, probably.
They shoot them off from a barge in the river.
the Star Spangled Banner.
It's okay.
And Fred.
Freddie, it's okay.
Oh,
Freddie, it's okay.
it's okay, bud. It's okay.
Freddie, it's
It's,
okay.
it's okay. Hey,
Come here, buddy.
Come
Come here. Come here, buddy.
All right, cool.
Come here. Come here.
Good, go by mom.
Come here. It's okay. It's okay. Here, watch them on TV. They're pretty.
Hey guys, so the last clip you probably saw was of us watching the fireworks on TV with our grandparents. We ended up Skyping them. I set up my Snowball microphone and my Logitech face cam right in front of the TV, and like halfway through, Skype ended up freezing. We're still on the call with them. But I'm sure now that I'm going to show you, more so for sound, I just want to show you how many fireworks are going on right now, because it's ridiculous. Yeah, yeah, I'm sure you can hear this. It sounds like a war zone. Honestly, I have no idea what's going on. My dog's barking. I can't see anything. Like, they were coming from behind over this way, and then they stopped, and now it sounds like it's coming from the front of the house, which is pretty insane. So yeah, that is going to be our night, is constant silence to Warzone fireworks. But we've usually not been home during 4th of July. Usually we get back fairly late, and with everybody home, everyone's shooting them off instead of just watching Macy's. Unfortunately though, I've not been able to catch any around here, because either I'm at the wrong side of the house, or there are trees blocking, which is just our 4th of July experience. Usually is that trees are blocking the view. So yeah, if I can catch any fireworks outside, that would be great. If not, then sorry about that. You guys might have to go with TV fireworks.